Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports in association with Round for Round Boxing Game. Tonight, 10 p.m. In an hour and a half from now, we will be doing another reveal on our world premiere of Round for Round Boxing. Another sneak preview of what to expect in the upcoming game, which is in early development at the moment on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I've had the beauty being a partner of the game to see some behind the scenes stuff that probably you won't see today, but the concept and the ideas just keep getting better and better. This game is going to happen and it's going to be big when it happens. So they're still in development. Tonight, 10 p.m. Make sure you click on the premiere, 10 p.m. Don't miss it. It's 10 p.m. It'll be sharp. So 10 p.m., not 5 past 10, not 10 past 10, 10 p.m. Make sure you've got your notification, you've clicked it on the bell, and you're there and you're watching it. Thank you to everybody that is tuning in now. So there's lots to talk about. Haven't been around recently as much as I'd like to be. We're here now. So let's get into a few things. Okay. Yes. Mr. Finished, good evening. Congratulations on Defoe. Well deserved. Thank you there. Wouldn't want Freddie fixing my cuts. LOL. Well, we can get into a lot of things, or we'll get into it. Now, before you ask me the question, did you see that Joe Rogan interview with Tyson Fury? No, no, no. Have you watched any interviews with Tyson Fury? No, no. You've got to remember, you got to understand, it's not I don't like Tyson Fury. Tyson's been doing a lot of talking before the comeback, during the comeback. Talk. He was going to emulate Muhammad Ali. He looked like Sugar Ray Leonard. He's like Muhammad Ali. A lot of stuff that in one ear and out the next. What I see is not what you're saying to me. What I'm seeing is still not what I'm seeing from you is still not what is evidencing to me that you're ready to be in a world title shot after fighting, in all due respect, a midget and a guy who was walking in quicksand when he fought you and still was able to hit you. That does not convince me that the king has returned. It doesn't. And then I looked at the Wladimir Klitschko fight again and I saw a guy for 4 or 5 rounds who was just prepared to hold. And I saw a lot of this hands behind the back and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on, wait. Wilder's not going to give you this kind of space and time to do all that stuff. He's going to be coming after you. Now, look, I'm not sitting here and telling you that I'm a massive Deontay Wilder fan and I think he's the greatest thing. No, I'm not going to sit down and tell you that. What I am going to say is he is by far the most violent boxer today, the most violent. If you go across the scope and the landscape of boxing today, I will challenge you to find me a guy more violent than Deontay Wilder. I mean, violent. Who generates violent knockouts and such electricity as a fighter. You know, you got guys who get knockouts. Yeah, you know, your Golovkins gets knockouts, and you know, Charlo's had some good knockouts as well. And there've been some good knockouts in boxing. But in terms of violent knockouts, you know, more than one violent knockout in this guy's record, his resume, and what he says, the intention, the look in the man's eyes, the violentness, and his intent does remind me somewhat of a Mike Tyson in terms of the intent to cause serious damage. I remember Tyson talking about wanting to throw uppercut and run the uppercut into somebody's nose up into their brain. I remember him hitting Briggs, and every time he hit into the body, he kept saying he winced like a girl. You know, just that sort of savage nature, and no disrespect to Deontay Wilder, that savage nature where you disconnect yourself from the world of boxing and you just see an object. This guy, you know, his eyes, the example of his eye go jet black. You know, when you look at a cat, and the cat's eyes turn jet black on you. That's, or when a dog jumps at you like a pit bull dog jumps you and he gets up lockjaw and holds onto you, and there's no going back from that. Deontay Wilder is not a man to play with. Really not. Say what you want about windmills. Say what you want about the guy's got no boxing skills. Say all the things you want to say. But violent, intense. This is not a guy you mess around with. This is not a guy that you can sleep on. This is not a guy that you can roll up and be out of shape and kind of wing it. This is not a guy you beat by winging it. This is not a guy you're going to beat by just doing just enough. If you're going to beat him, you're going to have to come in at your very best. And I can't stress this enough about Tyson Fury. Now, on to the thing about Freddie Roach. Me personally, if it's real, and there's a lot of things in boxing which aren't real. For example, I won't tell you the situations. An example of what happens with a lot of these boxing situations. You get these things that come up on video on YouTube, and as a fan, you look at it and go, that's interesting. You watch somebody sparring, you go, oh, that looks good. But if you're actually in the gym at the time, if you're in the gym at the time when it's happening, you will know that the trainer and the fighter will give you directions as to what you can upload and what you can't upload, what is for the camera and what is not for the camera. So when I look at Freddie Roach and Tyson Fury clowning around, which is what I see, clowning around on some pads, what? Freddie Roach is 5 foot something, or 5'3". Tyson's almost 7 foot. Deontay Wilder 6 foot something. What the hell is Freddie Roach holding pads like this, going blah, 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 blah? Any man with any common sense will say, they're joking. This ain't serious. This is something to put out there for people to look at. You can't seriously tell me that Freddie Roach is the pads man for Tyson Fury. Really? Is that what the brain trust is thinking? And I heard some story about Freddie Roach being his cutsman. Really? When was Freddie Roach a cutsman? I mean, I don't get it. Look, I don't understand. To me, I think, again, that's all fun and games. I personally don't think, and I hope to God that Freddie Roach is not holding the pads for Tyson Fury. I don't think that's the case. I think it's one of those smoke and mirror stuff that's put out there for people to look at and have a laugh at. I can't take it seriously. And I don't listen to a lot of what Tyson says anymore. Because he'll tell you today, he went for a walk down the road and he went and got a pint of milk. And when he got the pint of milk, he got attacked by aliens. And then he'll talk to another reporter and tell him, I went down the road and I actually attacked the aliens with a pint of milk. So with Tyson, you just don't know what's what. So what we do know is that, from what we see, is that he has some challenges. We know that he has had to lose a lot of weight. And everyone says, yeah, the mental health issues that Tyson had to go through. Why you talk about that? I noticed that nobody talks about Danny Jacobs, who had the cancer, right? Remember that? And he came back from that. They call him the Miracle Man. I don't hear a lot of people talking about Danny Jacobs and his comeback and actually becoming world champion and that journey when he was knocked out by Pirog. A lot of people wrote him off. I don't hear anybody or very few people talking about that. But Tyson Fury, mental health, I'm not knocking mental health here. But what I am saying is there are people who've had to overcome other things, not just mental health. And this wasn't something that was put on him. This wasn't something Danny Jacobs didn't blow up in weight because he decided to go out and drink and eat and party. Danny Jacobs was a supreme athlete, and what happened to him happened because of a disease that attacked the body. And he put himself right. Now, I'm not trying to compare situations. I'm just saying, when we talk about mental health, we talk about fighters and boxing, we also have Danny Jacobs, and he came through a tremendous challenge. I'm sure there are other fighters as well that have challenged and had to come through challenges and overcome it. So I don't want to hear excuses. What Tyson had to come back from, I don't want to hear that no more, because that's just something that people are running behind. The facts are the facts. The bottom line now is that he's back and he's training and he's ready to fight Deontay Wilder. He says he's ready to fight Deontay Wilder tomorrow. To me, that's a lie. You need to get into camp and you need to train. You need to prepare yourself. You need to get yourself in tremendous shape. And he's up at Big Bear, and I hope that he's training hard. So now the other thing is, I don't know how this all works. If it is Freddie Roach is going to be in the team, how does this affect Ben Davison? Has Tyson realized that Ben Davison isn't the man? Or maybe, I mean, I don't know how Ben Davison, I mean, look, no disrespect to Ben Davison, 25 years old. Again, it kind of reminds me when Bernard Hopkins, was it Hopkins? Was it Hopkins? I don't know who it was. And he had all these trainers in his corner for the fight. I can't remember what fight it was, but had all these trainers in his corner. So you've got Hatton, a trainer in his own right. You've got Freddie Roach, a trainer in his own right. A Hall of Fame trainer in his own right. You've got Ben Davidson. And I don't know who else is advising Tyson in his camp. I don't know. The whole thing to me doesn't really have much faith in myself in terms of what's going on. I haven't watched interviews, so I could be completely behind the times of everything. But what I'm seeing, it isn't impressive. You know, hitting the pads and stuff, that's great. But, you know, he was hitting the pads before and still came in to me pretty heavy. So he's lost the weight. And as I spoke to James Elibashir, Uncle James, spoke about the weight and losing the weight and how much crashing all that weight is going to do to Tyson. Whether he'll ever be the same fighter again, we'll have to wait and see. And again, punch resistance, it's all well and good having lost all that weight, but what's your punch resistance going to be like? How much damage have you done to your body? All those things concern me. So I don't know. I'm not knocking Ben Davison for being 25 years old, but surely experience. I don't know if he's brought another pair of eyes in. I don't know if Tyson's asking to bring an extra pair of eyes in. And the other thing, that John Fury thing, Tyson's dad not coming to America. I mean, like, you could have seen that a long shot. You could have seen that happening, that he wouldn't be able to get into America. You know, I mean, Peter did struggle to get into America at one point when Tyson fought Cunningham. I think it was through some application that was put in late, or something happened, some misunderstanding. But John Fury, it would have been nice for Tyson to have John in his corner, but that's not going to be the case. So that's another concern as well. Yes, let's see what people are saying in the corner. The other thing I want to mention is you're going to go and fight against Deontay Wilder. For me, you want to be working on your defense, not your offense. You want to be working on how to neutralize that right hand. Let's get away from that right hand. Let's take that right hand completely away. Bernard Hopkins was great at that, taking your best asset away from you. Andre Ward, taking your best asset away from you. So Tyson's going to have to find a way to take his best asset away. If anything, Freddie Roach is going to make you walk onto someone's best asset. Roach's historical game plans against guys like Marquez, for 4 fights, Pacquiao couldn't get out of the way of Marquez's right hand. And in the 4th fight, we all know what happened. Can I just click off this? Right. So, yeah, price back on pay-per-view, bro. I broke the story in my article a week ago. I tagged you along with Usyk wanting 2 heavyweight fights before Joshua. Price and little the road to nowhere, LOL. Roach ain't defensively minded. Well, there you go. That's it. The Rogan interview was A+. Man, the winner of the fight is the baddest man on the planet. If you like hype, then listen to that stuff. I'm not listening to that stuff no more with Tyson. People are saying Tyson looks in better shape than when he was when against Klitschko, but looks mean nothing. All that weight dropping off will have the same effect it had on bellew against Usyk. Can see it ending the same way. Bayloric, I have to say that if you want the round-for-round boxing to succeed, you have to add more fighters that have never been in any boxing game, or fighters that have hardly get talked about. Pardon. Bayloric, I have to say that if you want the round-for-round boxing to succeed, you have to add more fighters that have never been in boxing game, or fighters that have never really talked about. I'm not sure what you mean. I think you might mean that we need to add fighters that are talked about, and I get you. I understand. Tune in 10 p.m. tonight for the premiere. of the Round for Round latest reveal. I'm very excited. Roach being the Cutsman and Padman is all Mickey Mouse to me. Yeah, it absolutely is. I've got to agree with you there, Kenny Ken. Ronnie Emerson, pay attention to Wilder. Since he puts mouthpiece in before the first bell, his eyes literally changes. There you go. Here's what I've got to say to you. My man, listen. I don't know what I've said before, but my man goes under some sort of spell. People can say what they want about, now I'm talking rubbish. Said it, this man spiritually is of another universe. And people say, you're talking rubbish and all that stuff, but those who know. This guy, Wilder, when he's talking, he sends sort of shivers down my spine, which are not pleasant. Any man that wants to talk about putting a man in body, he wants a body and that sort of stuff. That sort of stuff. And he doesn't think twice about thinking about it. And then he starts talking about the bronze bond and himself, that sort of out-of-body experience, and talking about the third person. And, hey, listen, that sort of stuff is not what your average general guy who gets in the gym and wants to box. No. This guy ain't playing with the same rules. Anywhere and everywhere. He says there's a secret to boxing, and it's where you're hitting. He's looking to hit you to discombobulate you. And then once he hurts you, once he hits you and he hurts you, he's looking to take you out of there completely. This is no, like, you know, he ain't waiting for the thing. If you watch what he did to Stavern, take a good look at that again. He's not waiting for the referee to jump in and stop the fight. Like some fighters, they'll throw a shot and then wait for the referee to get in and all get dramatic about it. Wilder is throwing punches. Even when you are out unconscious, he's still throwing punches. That's surefire murder there, that sort of behavior. Because he's throwing one punch too many. Look at the Stavern fight. Again, Stavern was out and he was still throwing punches. This guy, I'm not, please separate this guy to his boxing ability. All right? I'm not saying he's the best technical fighter in the world. I'm not even saying he's the best fighter in the world. But pound for pound, he's the most violent man in boxing. You don't teach that stuff, that violence. You don't teach it. It's a switch like that. And that Tyson's not violent. Tyson's not that kind of guy. You know, it's a different. Tyson's gonna have to go to a different place to deal with Deontay Wilder. This is different. It's different to any opponent Tyson's faced before. You know what I mean? Because it's different. It's just different. Very, very different. I hate to say that, but I've got another story breaking shortly regarding Yard's opponent on the Fury Wilder undercard. Stay tuned. Fury will be ahead on points. So, what round does Wilder turn around with a big 1-2 or a left hook, which is improving? Listen. You actually Fury being ahead on points. That is only from the basis of Fury being able to take that right hand, because between rounds 1 to 4, he will get touched. He will get touched, and you know, being ahead on points. You saw Bellew the other day. He was ahead on points. And I said to you, I've said from round 2, and Usyk's not a violent guy either. When Usyk landed the first left hand on Bellew, I thought, it's only a matter of time. And then one left hand. And the same way that Bellew got knocked out was the same way he got knocked out against Adonis Stevenson. Go back and watch the fight again. Gets clipped with a left hand. He stutters. And then Adonis goes and finishes him off. Watch Usyk. Stuns him with the left hand. He does a little thing, and then Usyk jumps on him. Yeah, good point, Ingram. Danny Jacobs wasn't expected to perform on world-class level again, ever, after he was diagnosed. Yes, that's true about Danny Jacobs. With all due respect, but what does Freddie add to the camp when Freddie's mostly offensive-minded, while Tyson needs defense to stay away from Wilder's big right hand? Well, that's my point. I said this about a lot of fighters. When Scott Quigg decided to go and join Freddie Roach, I said, you ain't been knocked out yet. Join Freddie Roach's gym. You're guaranteed to get knocked out. Because one of two things. He will teach you to forget your defense, or he will talk you into a game plan that's going to guarantee to get you knocked out. Listen, Pacquiao was winning the fight against Marquez, but because Roach was saying, we're going to go for that knockout, Pacquiao got knocked out. That's it. Only one person to blame for that fight, Freddie Roach. Not Pacquiao, Freddie Roach, because Pacquiao looks to Freddie Roach like his dad, like guidance. So, not good. Yeah. He's doing Ben a favour. If he loses, it's Freddie's pocket's fault. He said he was okay at 265, and look now, Fury's down to 250. Gypsy trick. Well, we'll see when he weighs in. That's when we'll find out how much Fury's weighing. We'll see how much. And if he spent half the camp losing weight, then it's what it is, isn't it? Fury's going to get confused in the corner trying to execute multiple game plans. Why can't Big John go? I think it's to do with criminal past. His pops can't go. What the F? Why? He doesn't like flying, apparently, like Mr. T. Roach, known to coach his fighters into getting knocked out. I've said this many times. So many people rate him. If you're a fighter and you want to get knocked out or know what it's like to get knocked out, go to Freddie Roach's gym. He'll show you how to get knocked out. He'll show you the straight way to get knocked out. Sure fire, straight way to get yourself knocked out. Go to Freddie Roach. Guaranteed to get knocked out. You want a KO loss on your record? Go to Freddie Roach. He guarantees it. Hi Ingram, hope you're well. Glad you're down the South Coast enjoying the sea breeze. And indeed, sir, it's glad to be back home in the South Coast. I always consider the South Coast more home to me than London, believe it or not. Well, wait, are people taking the pad video seriously? I mean, like it's a real pad session? No, I hope not. But there are people who will believe in it, Rob, as you know, and you're a pretty sensible guy. Mr. Finishes, Wilder style is like a golf player. He needs to distance himself to drive his shots. He's been taught well and he's patient, but he's vulnerable inside. Yeah? Who's going to get... You're expecting Tyson Fury to get on the inside, not with him taking some lashes first. And on the subject of Wilder on the inside, I think you need to look at that Spilker fight. It was a short right hand on the inside that knocked Spilker out. That was a short punch from here to there. Boom. Took Spilker out. Spilker was doing well until that short right hand. And you saw what happened to Spilker afterwards. Tom, it's because he's been to prison. Yeah. You can, it says here, people are saying, you can take the fight to him and get him off balance. Then it's a fight. Jules wins. Round 4, Tyson. Wilder hits him with something major. Ingram, you pay for everything in life. 10-stone weight gain and drug abuse, followed by 2 joke fights, dropping Peter Fury, and then expects to get in the ring at elite level and beat Wilder. Yeah, that's it. I think somewhere in wherever they're fighting, I think it's Vegas, wherever they're fighting, there's going to be a violent moment in this fight. A violent moment. And if Tyson gets hurt, forget the Steve Gunning fight. If he gets hit, I've seen him get hit and wobbled by guys who don't punch anywhere near Wilder. Your chin don't change like that. And in fact, his chin will probably get worse because of the endurance and all that stuff he's done with his body. So if he can suck up Tyson, if Tyson can suck up Wilder's punching power, it's something. It's something. The whole Freddie Roach thing is pure marketing, and it's working because everyone is talking about it. Yeah, I know, but it's not fun for me. I don't think you're sending out the right signals. Personally, I don't. I really don't. Doesn't say much about it. I don't like it. If I'm training my fighter, hey, example. If I'm training my okay, it's great fighters. Listen, would you ever see a video of Marvin Hagler training with some other You wouldn't see Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, out pros, Muhammad Ali, even Tyson. You wouldn't see these guys training with some other trainer, even though they've got a head trainer. You wouldn't see it. It wouldn't happen. because these guys are consummate pros in what they do. Tyson, not so much. Later on, Tyson. I'm talking about custom art Tyson. You wouldn't see, and I just don't like it. I don't like to see. I've seen enough fun and games. This is not a fun and games fight. This is the one fight. It's not fun and games, and I don't know how to express that without. This fight is not your fight at the York Hall Bethnal Green, or you fight at you're going over to America and have a fight against a guy that you know you're going to knock over. This is a guy that all he has to do is touch you on the chin. That's a skill in itself. He's got that sort of power that could be like that. And he's not. And listen, this guy's getting naturally faster than Tyson. He's going to be the most athletic heavyweight that Tyson has ever faced. Most athletic. Tyson's a big man and a fast man for slow heavyweights. But you've got a guy now who's got a basketball type frame. So that agility and movement and those sort of things like that, Tyson will put his jab down and Wilder be all over the place. So Tyson moves, they say he moves like a welterweight. Well, and if Tyson moves like a middleweight or welterweight, then this guy's Wilder's going to move like a minimum weight. Tyson said something like, you can't hit what you can't see. Well, Pianetta hit him. What's this other guy named? Safa Safiri hit him. Wilder will catch him. And I'm not sure about Wilder's Fury's defense on the back foot. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about his defensive skills. I really don't know. Tyson needs Roach for offensive help. His defense is ready, oppressive. Really? Against who is his defense impressive? Maybe it's the wrong Tyson Fury, but I've seen Tyson Fury and his defense hasn't looked impressive. Sorry. I have to disagree with you there. He won't be in the same guy who beat Klitschko after that weight gain. It was insane. I don't like Roach as Mr. Finish. Where do you see the loser going after this? Well, if the loser gets violently knocked out, not very far, anytime soon, recovering, that is what I see. I don't see this fight going to points. I see this fight being a violent fight. And I don't see this fight going 12 rounds. I don't think it will be allowed to go 12. I just don't think it goes 12 rounds. I think it's going to be a violent fight. I really do. It's going to be a violent fight. Tyson's going to have to fight. He can't do what he did against Klitschko because that's not going to work. Because one right hand, just one, it's over. He has to take that right hand away straight off the get-go. Violent. But I suspect Tyson's going to try and box him southpaw because that's what he does to take away the right hand. He'll turn southpaw. But newsflash, Luis Ortiz is a better southpaw than Tyson Fury. Coach Roach. Let's see what people. Why do people not understand the risk of cutting weight, coming down like that, and ballooning up is never good? And you saw how Bellew gassed so. Imagine how tired Tyson will be. Amazing. Looks never mean zilch. Exactly. Looks do mean zilch. It's how you've treated your body. Frank Warren can't pay Fury. Laugh my head off. Might be for ticket sales. Hell, Roach is a name. If it's that bad, listen. This is the king of boxing. Now, Tyson's fights that have been exciting, the exciting fights Tyson's been in, have been ones that he has been dropped himself and have got that to get off the canvas, or fights he's been really pushed in. The Chisora White fight with Fury, the first fight, was an exciting fight. The Nevin Pajcek fight was an exciting fight. The Cunningham fight was an exciting fight. Those are exciting fights. Tyson is an excitable character, and I wouldn't say that Tyson Fury is an exciting fighter. I think he's an interesting fighter. I think he's a colourful fighter. I think he's an entertaining fighter, but I don't think he's an exciting fighter. There's a big difference. Heavyweights weighing in today before are pointless. Don't prove that fight night weight. Heavyweights should weigh in on fight night. Yeah, that's true. Well, I like Tyson, so I pray hard. I don't think Tyson has the fitness or speed anymore to make evade fight of Wilder for 12 rounds. I don't either. I don't know. Feels like the world is getting weird. Is going weird, and I'm the only one that's giving Tyson absolutely no chance of winning the fight at all. Feels like I can bet my house on Wilder and feel safe. Wow. Usyk mixes and matches trainers, but I get you. No, but you don't clown around like that. Sorry. He's coming off. He's 30, coming off, gaining 140 pounds. I'll be amazed if he wins. Yes, I agree. And bringing in Roach makes it closer to pantomime. You watch Wilder, gonna make the adjustments to jab Fury in this tits. Tyson is probably fitter than he has ever been. Look at the recent pictures after Big Bear camp. Listen, wait, stop. Just hold that thought. Just hold that thought for just 1 second. He's in Big Bear Mountain in California. Of course he's going to drop off the weight. He's in Big Bear, California. He's going to drop off the weight. High altitude. Opens the lungs up. He's going to lose weight. So? Oh, wait. Are we talking Weight Watchers here? Or are we talking boxing here? Because if we're talking Weight Watchers, then Fury would get fantastic points. But if we're talking about boxing, I've heard nobody talk about, Fury's going to technically work on. I don't hear nobody talking in chat. Most of the people talking chat about Fury's about his weight. That's a bad sign. That you're talking about a man's weight more than his boxing skills. How is he going to evade the right hand? How is he going to make Wilder miss and make him pay? What have we seen in Fury's setup in all of his career that would make us think that he could go 12 rounds, outbox Deontay Wilder, who's faster, who'll be faster than Fury. So he'll set him up in positions that Fury'd never been in before. I don't care how many people Fury sparred with. He sparred nobody, and I mean nobody, who will hit like Wilder hits. I mean, I suggested Lawrence Okolie as a sparring partner, and Okolie hits hard. He hit hard, and he's got that dangling long arm thing like Wilder. But let's not get it twisted. Okolie isn't Wilder, and Okolie doesn't hit like Wilder. So you can do all the things in sparring and stuff and simulate it to a point. But it's that right-hand power, that speed and power and the velocity that he comes at. You can't prepare for that. But you could probably better find someone to mimic Tyson Fury than you could mimic Wilder. And that's what's going to make sparring hard for Tyson. Because, flipping out, sparring with Joe Joyce. Are you having a joke? Are you having a laugh? Joe Joyce. People are getting excited. Oh, I heard rumors that Joe Joyce got knocked out by Tyson Fury. Really? Who cares? With all due respect, you're talking about one of the fastest heavyweights, most violent heavyweights, and probably the best right-hand puncher in boxing. There's a lot to prepare for. So, I'm hearing a lot of stuff about Weight Watchers. So I keep hearing this Weight Watchers stuff. And again, I'm not, again, please don't get me wrong. I'm trying to be non-biased, but it's just so much bias that he's lost weight and he looks good. But he was looking good before the lead up to the fight against the midget. And then he was looking good and lost all the weight when he fought against Pianetta. But you tell me one fight in Tyson Fury's career, you track back, that he's met a guy who's got the explosiveness of a Wilder. One punch puts your lights out. And he'll probably see Fury's punches coming because he's that much faster. Look, people won't say it, but Ortiz is good. Very good fact. Now, Wilder beat him, didn't he? Yeah. And he went, and Ortiz is a southpaw. It's going to be, you mentioned the eyes. That's what you call it, jaws. Wouldn't want to be a fair fight if it was a boxing match. Hamza S says, I concur. Let me zoom this in a second because I can't see what's being read here. Let me just turn it. Sorry. Right. So I can read people's writing a bit more. I'm seriously struggling with the writing here. Hold on. Right. Go to YouTube. Right. Thank you. That's getting better. My eyes are getting squared up. Let's see it now. Better. Miss Boxing Fanatic, good evening. How are you? Hope you're well. Where are you listening to us from, by the way, Boxing Fanatic? Lordy, lordy, lordy. YouTube's playing with me now. 1 minute I can read your comments. Next minute your comments have gone. All right. Give me a second while I get these comments to come back in the chat section. There we go. Bear with me a second. The comments are coming up. Oh, here we go now. The real boxing people know it's a 50-50 fight. If Wilder gets frustrated by round 3 or 4, Roach is a trove of knowledge. It's gonna be a war. But those Wilder misses will be counted. Stop. Hold that thought. When has Freddie Roach ever been a mastermind? If he was a master tactician, there's no way Khan would have got knocked out by Garcia, and there's no way that Pacquiao would have got knocked out by Marquez. That's 2 fights already. You remember that year where Roach had all his fighters got knocked out all in the same year? Chavez Jr. got knocked out. Khan got knocked out. Pacquiao got knocked out. Of 1 year, all his fighters got knocked out. Not good. It's all coming out now about Warren going into bankruptcy. So you know the real reason why Tyson was rushing to Wilder. Frank don't give a damn about Tyson at all. Well, if you go back and read and listen to my video all the way back, I said, I hope to God that Tyson Fury doesn't get 2 fights against nobodies and then come back and fight for their championship of the world. I hope that doesn't happen. And Tyson says no. What's happened? I've called this again. Oh, there. I agree, HBO. Wilder is a poor boxer at least, but he's a brutal puncher and very fast at a heavyweight. That's all you really need, in all fairness. Again, good evening, Boxing Fanatic. Where are you listening to this from, Boxing Fanatic? Not in the later rounds, Tom. You can't put Fury in a fight after 8 rounds. It's too soon at this level. Warren always has cash problems, always finds a way back to rinse and repeat. Copender 9 says that. HBO Shutters, I was adamant Parker beat White. Ingram knew the outcome, proved me wrong. But yeah, because Parker was open to the left hook before the fight started. So unless you've got a trainer that can make changes, and very few trainers can make changes in the world of boxing today. Most boxing trainers today, I would say 90% of boxing trainers today train what they know, stick by the same things, and they do the same things all the time. Very few boxing trainers will adapt to meet the needs of the fighter, to counterattack the fighter. Like someone like, what's his name? Nazim Richardson. There you go, as a guy that will bring a strategy for you for a fighter. James El-Bashir will give you a strategy to meet the fighter. I can't even say Abel Sanchez, because Abel Sanchez, to me, it seems that his guys, all his guys can punch. But as soon as you start to be able to move, he starts telling you in the corner, hey, you really fancy this fight? Shall we go home? If you don't throw no more punches, we're going to have to go home. It's throw punches or go home when plan A don't work. So we can't even use him as an example. I don't get how anyone think it's a 50-50 fight. Wilder would get much more of a challenge from Miller or White, or hell, even Chisora would stretch him, says Jonathan. Mr. Finish says, yo, you beat Wilder by taking him off balance early. Nobody has tried this with good boxing skills. A good boxer with good feet who takes the aggressive fight to him makes it a 50-50 fight. Yeah? All right. Well, who is that fighter? You're going to say Tyson Fury is that fighter? Interesting. Adam Scott says he's not 20, he's 30. That weight gain and abuse of cocaine will affect your heart, changes your fitness for life. Of course, Fury's completely washed and completely shot. He looked like dog shit against pardon my French, against two tune-ups. Wilder will massacre him, says Jonathan. Hard fight for top fast F secret. Hard fight for top fast Fury. Secret to Wilder is etched in boxing history. The jab needs one hell of a pumping jab. You're gonna need more than a jab. Because your jab, well, I'm showing you jab and you jab. And that stuff is great against a heavyweight that isn't as tall as you, isn't as long as you, and isn't as fast as you. That is great. You can do that all night long. Once you've got a guy that's fast enough that can get over your jab, boom, bang, one right hand. You've seen Wilder. All Wilder does, he'll just wait for the jab and he'll rock back. You'll throw the jab, rock back, bang, right hand, straight down the pipe. That's it. Rock back, bang, right hand. You've seen him. I've seen him tripling up the hook, left hook. And he's a developing fighter. So that jab that Fury likes to pop out and all that stuff with, one right hand can change the whole course of the fight. He could be up 9 rounds doing that stuff. One right hand, wham, fight over. That's the sort of fighter you're dealing with there. That's the sort of fight you deal with. Emmanuel Stewart's another fighter, another trainer you've got to bring in there, the late, great Emmanuel Stewart, in terms of being able to adapt for fighters. I agree. Wilder has the biggest right hand in boxing, could well KO Tyson in the first round. Yes, it could end that quickly. Ortiz beats Fury. All I know is that we're in for a great fight, however long it lasts. I wouldn't be surprised if Fury lasts 3 rounds, to be honest. Yep, I wouldn't be surprised either. But Klitschko demolished Wilder. 2 knockdowns, bloody nose. Ortiz rocked to him. Molina can hit Wilder. Yeah, I broke that story about the Klitschko story. That story was broken by James Ali Bashir. And the story is that Klitschko bloodied, I think he bloodied Joshua's nose. His t-shirt was full of blood. He dropped Wilder twice, but Wilder showed lots of heart. And I also was in a training camp with Richard Towers. So yeah, Richard Towers was one of the sparring partners as well for Wladimir Klitschko. Fury has a tiny KO percentage for heavyweight. Come on, we all know Khan has a glass chin. And your point is, Pacquiao doesn't have a glass chin. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. doesn't have a glass chin. What's your point? Get in there with someone outweighs you big. You feel it, trust me, even the so-called flicks. Really, Adam? You think so? I thought Fury has a good KO record. Fury is the 8th wonder of the world. I wonder how he keeps winning. He keeps making a fool out of boxing. But I gotta love Tyson Fury. Ronnie Everson said, you said that definitely. Now, Miss Boxing is from Illinois. Oh, wow. What part of Illinois? My wife is from Peoria, Illinois. And she was former Mrs. Illinois, 2004. Richardson and Hunter. Richardson, Nazim Richardson, yes. Hunter, not so sure. Hunter is defensively great, a great defensive trainer. Not sure if he can adapt. Abel Sanchez, not so sharp. I can see it going similar to Belly Usyk. Tyson does well at the start, wins early rounds, then boom, good night. Wilder controls distance better than any current heavyweight you can run in. He's going to hit you with that devastating 1-2. Not the point. In boxing, we hit and don't get hit. Rule number one, sometimes we have to fight. If it means you're going to win, he has fighting DNA. He can fight, he can win. Yeah, fighting DNA against who? Now, Superman is like a god on earth. Until you give him kryptonite, then he can get beat by everybody. You got to find out, is Tyson Fury could probably beat every heavyweight in the world and get away with it by just doing what he normally does. But Wilder might be his kryptonite. That is it. Speed, power, velocity. I don't know. Yeah, Wilder could do this quick spring step inside Fury's left shoulder and spring off and KO. That's what I'm saying. But what you're saying, it proves there isn't many good trainers out there. Not many can adjust and have different game plans. No, I don't think there are. I think there's about maybe a handful of good trainers at elite level that can make the adjustments on the fly. I think you've got to actually add Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Roger Mayweather. They've definitely got to be brought into the brain trust, because those guys helped Floyd Mayweather. And when Mayweather was having problems in the fight, I'm sure when he was getting rocked by Mosley, his brain weren't that fast to compute what he had to do. So Roger Mayweather or Floyd Mayweather Sr. was able to say, look, son, this is what you need to do. And Floyd was able to implement it to be a winning fighter. So Roger Mayweather definitely has to be in there in that mix as well. Manny was a great trainer. The art of distance fighting was invented by him, broke the mold after Manny. Listen, Manny Stewart gets a lot of accolades, but the truth about him, Manny Stewart, is he brought in a team of great trainers, which a lot of people don't know. He brought in a team of great trainers. Manny Stewart was a good trainer, but he had greatness around him, which only made him greater. You have to understand that about Manny Stewart. I'm not knocking the man. I'm just telling you, he had a team of great trainers around him. And a lot of people don't know that about Manny Stewart. They see him with the pads and what stuff. And he was a very knowledgeable guy, Manny Stewart. But he had knowledgeable people around him, including James Ali Bashir. One day I'm going to do a video on the whole Emmanuel Stewart story, so you all can really get to know the behind the scenes of that. A lot of people don't get credit, that have who have been good trainers in the Emmanuel Stewart story. Change subject, but White can White more Miller like he did Parker. Different fight, different conversation. Not today. Truth be told, the King Fury will outbox Wilder. Yeah. He'll outbox him. Oh boy. Just wait for the right hand. Batman. Exactly. Klitschko had a massive. Oh, don't stop. Right there. Klitschko right hand. Once a person says to me, Klitschko's got a big right hand, and Fury took that right hand. Stop. Are you comparing Wladimir throw a right hand but run out the back door? Klitschko. Klitschko had a style which was defensively set up. So when Klitschko throws a right hand at you, he's pulling out the door. He's non-committal with his right hand. Wilder is fully committed. When he hits you, he goes straight through the target. Klitschko throws at the target and pulls his chin back, so he doesn't have to worry about getting connected on. Watch him. Klitschko goes 1, 2, and pulls back because he doesn't commit the same way, because he's always worried about his own chin. Wilder, on the other hand, watch how he connects. When he hits you with a right hand, which has got the best right hand in boxing, it goes right through the target. If you were to imagine Wladimir Klitschko with a big watermelon, his punching technique will hit the watermelon, and the watermelon will break in two, and his Wladimir Klitschko's hand would still be there, and the watermelon will break in two. Deontay Wilder technique is when he hits it, he's going to punch and put his fist right through the watermelon, and his hand will go right through the other side of the watermelon. And that's the difference in punching power. So don't compare Klitschko, who was scared of getting hit, scared of committing, and has always been a scaredy cat since he got chinned and traumatized by knockout defeats, to Wilder, Who is the most violent puncher in boxing? Don't compare the two. It's just like, you know, you're coming with your little water gun, and I'm coming with a tank for you. Really? You're like saying to me, well, hey, you know what? I'm gonna shoot you. And I'm saying to you, hold on a second. And I send a nuclear bomb or atomic bomb and blows you up and blows your whole family up and blows the whole area up. Blows the whole country. Yeah, there's a difference. That's the kind of level of violence we're talking about. And we're talking that technique. Wladimir Klitschko was safety first. Wilder is kill or be killed. Different mindsets, different philosophies, different values of ways of value of life. Wladimir Klitschko will never talk about putting you in a body bag. This guy will. Yeah, different. So you've got to take that out of your mindset when you're talking about Klitschko. And Klitschko held Fury for 4 or 5 rounds. So there's no way that there's equal punch power between Wladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. Really isn't. And the other thing you've got to think about is not just being able to outbox. That's pressure, because you know when Fury gets in the ring, you know how nervous Fury is already. He was like that when he was fighting Klitschko. Nervous energy. That's nervous energy at the peak of his powers when he was fit and he was consistently fighting against decent level of opposition. Fury's doing that, yeah, against Wladimir Klitschko, who's not as fast as Wilder and not as intentional as Wilder. So Fury's going to be doing all this stuff, and at the back of his mind, knowing any one of these right hands could knock me out. So that's first thing in Fury's mind. This guy can knock me out with any one of his any right hand. So I'm watching the right hand, and he's coming to me. Wilder's more likely to step to Fury and shut that crap stuff down straight away. If I'm Wilder, I stand right in front of Fury and I go right at him. Put him to the ropes and let his back against ropes. And 99.9% of the opponents that Wilder's knocked out, that's how he's knocked them out, with their back against ropes. And where does Fury like to fight? Back against ropes. Bad habits. Fury likes to fight back against ropes. 2 steps back, Wilder 2 jabs, Fury's back against ropes, right hand straight through. No defense. You can defend against guys who are slow like Pianetta that will throw these punches, and you can do all that stuff against Pianetta. Do it against a fast heavyweight that can punch and has got the speed to hit you. That's a different situation. You know, every time Fury moves forward, he's getting hit with a jab. Every time he moves forward, he gets hit with a jab. If he had 4 or 5 fights to prepare himself for the Wilder fight, I would have given him more of a chance. But to come off 2 fights in 3 years and fight nobody, not even gone the distance, a proper distance fight, and then now you're going to go and fight Wilder? I don't see it happening, people. But if he does it, listen, Fury does it, Mr. Fury, I will take my hat off. I'll get on comedy show and say, listen, you proved me wrong again. It's not just about being able to box. It's that he'll need the fitness to sustain the movement for 12 rounds against a world-class athlete. The King is in fantastic shape. All things said, I still rate Joshua Parker over Wilder Fury win. Wilder should have picked a more live opponent. Well, according to many, Fury's the king of boxing. At Mr. Finish, I think Parker would win a rematch with White in solid fashion. I see Miller molding White and not the other way around. White was out on his feet at the end. Parker was fresher by the end. So going forward, what trainers can we look to have the potential to be great? I have to do a video on that one. A look at the adjustments Hunter made with Ward against Kovalev too. That's one fighter. And he had him since he was 9 years old. So I think Hunter, you know, Hunter and Mayweather, Roger Mayweather, 2 fighters, 2 trainers there we have to say special exemption for, because they had one fighter they've had for a long period of time. Whether they'd be able to repeat that with other fighters, it's still questionable. Parker lacks the mongrel to win any rematch. I agree. Parker didn't even go for it in round 12. Let's see now. I don't want to talk about Parker. The only thing Fury can do better than Wilder is drinking and sniffing. Who was the more live opponent than Fury after Joshua didn't want to fight Wilder? Also, even if you're doing okay mid-rounds, Wilder could throw them both to floor like he does all opponents. Might that mano v mano bring Tyson to scrap, which case violent KO? That true, Ingram. Wilder commits his power punches. That's why he's looking clumsy at times, but that's why he drops everyone who has been in the ring with him. If Tyson give Wilder a 12-round boxing lesson, when you give it, don't ask me a question like that. If you've been watching my channel for years, that's a ridiculous question to ask me. Will I give somebody credit? Come on, man. If you know my channel, you know I'm the first to give credit when a guy has done, and I've already said it already. And would I give him credit? Of course I give him credit. I give every fighter credit, win or lose. Might be hard for Tyson to get behind jab and dance after he's been thrown to the floor in typical Wilder fashion. One Love. If Tyson gives him a 12-round boxing lesson, I'll eat my hat and parade naked around the fall in January cold. Knowing the guy can make you have a fit if he lands well. Anyone would be shitting himself. Of course they would. Of course they would. Fury is way bigger draw than all the fighters you mentioned. Fury never lost his belt in the ring, and he's still unbeaten. Wilder is the biggest heavyweight draw in a while. Of course it is. It's an old man. It's an old man can outbox Wilder for 6 rounds with blood pressure. What will a young man do? Oh dear. And that's not an old man that was abusing his body. An old man who, no, sorry. LOL, you could be right, but everyone always underestimates Tyson. He could surprise. He could get knocked out in the first round. I hear you, but I don't get it. Fury is shot and shouldn't be a draw. It's a money grab for Tyson. It's a fight as fake as Rigo versus Loma or Mikey versus Spence. It's a shit fest. This is what Jonathan says. Tyson Fury will bully Wilder with his natural strength. Right. Bully Wilder, which means he's going to walk forward, which means he'll walk onto a right hand. Fury's 5-4 to win. Do not bet on him. It's a horrendous value. You have to be British to give Fury some sort of a chance. Someone outside the whole US Britain debate. It's just another Saturday for boxing that Fury's given a chance. What about Frampton Warrington? Great fight. Wrong time to talk about it. How is Fury shot when he's still unbeaten? Loma Rigo and Mikey Spence are guys who moved up 2 weight classes, while Fury Wilder is A class heavyweights. I get you though. It's not even like he's boxing in the UK either. There's so much going against him. This is another thing as well. And he hasn't got Peter in his corner, which is a different dynamic altogether. They moved up 2 weight classes in short order. Fury moved down 1 grown man in size in short order. Seems same-ish to me. People are funny. Can you go into more detail about Wilder's alter ego, the way he talks about it sounding off like a possession, and he's spoken about his African roots, witchcraft, and the mask he wears to ring. He picked up from New Orleans, which had a spell on it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of stuff there which I don't know. I just, it sends chills through my spine. I don't like talking about it. I mentioned this to you either before the Stavern fight or after the Stavern fight. I said, this guy's in a trance of some sort. He's not, he's possessed. I'm telling you. People think, it's a joke, it's funny. Okay. Fury's going to know about it. If you listen to what Fury was saying, I know you look, listen, if you listen to what Fury was saying, he says, I don't need to listen to your stuff. You know, I've got Jesus on my side. When a man starts talking about, I've got Jesus on my side and I don't need to do the stuff you're doing, it's because Tyson's looked into Wilder's eyes and he has seen the darkness. That's what I'm telling you. Tyson has sat next to Wilder. He's looked in his eyes and he's seen something totally different. And he's seen, this guy here is on something else. And I'm not talking about drugs here. This guy is up to his eyeballs and stuff. He says, I don't get myself into that sort of stuff. Those who know, Wilder's into something else, man. He's on a different universe. He's on a different universe. I'm telling you, but okay. This is not a fight of just flesh and blood, people. Those who know and understand, this is not a fight of just flesh and blood. This is a fight of powers and principalities. This is a spiritual battle before a physical battle. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This is light and darkness. This is good and evil. It's all that sort of stuff. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It was almost the difference. It was on a. This is on a lighter tone. Is when Holyfield fought Tyson. When you had Tyson was the Muslim, Holyfield was the Christian, and they kind of sold that stuff. They like to sell that stuff a lot in America. But this one here with Wilder and Fury, I'm surprised they haven't brought it up about Wilder and his dark side, because it's not funny. It's not funny. No, that stuff. Listen, not the time for this talk, says British boxing fan talk. I'm telling you, it's the truth, man. You don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Never ever doubt the Fury's one. Never doubt him. Well, listen. If he wins, he might have to come off the deck to do it. If he wins, he's going to have to come off the deck to do it, and he's going to need some real power, and he's going to need some spiritual power himself, Fury. I'm telling you, this is one hell of a battle. If Fury thinks he went through darkness before, he's going to have to fight the gates of darkness when he fought Wilder. I'm telling you, you all ain't listening. You all ain't getting it. This is a different situation. Exactly, on spiritual conquest at its best. But it's true, though. Ain't no witchcraft that beats out Jesus. But I don't see Jesus picking a side out of a fat cokehead either. So Tyson is probably on his arm. You guys are just wrong. You guys are just wrong. I wouldn't doubt him if I hadn't lived like a Jeremy Kyle guest for over 3 years. I wouldn't doubt him if he hadn't lived like a Jeremy Kyle guest for over 3 years. But you know, it's another level. I'm telling you, guy. I'm just gonna call it is. This man is demon possessed up to his eyeballs. That is it. My man is demon possessed right up to his eyeballs and through in the other side. My man's dealing with probably witchcraft and obeah and all stuff. Hey, but it works for him. That's what he's doing. That's up to him. But you're going to have to go on the dark side when you deal with Wilder. You're going to have to go on the dark side. Speak more on the face-off they had when Fury saw the darkness and said, I've seen you before in Germany. I think Tyson saw something he knows Wilder's possessed. This is what I'm saying. I've seen that darkness before. Telling you. You know, people talk about boxing and PEDs. There's something worse than PEDs that's out there, people. Something worse than PEDs. Let me tell you something again. Go back and look at Chris Eubank Sr. when he fought Steve Collins. Eubank really, he saw something he didn't like. Collins said he was under a trance, but I'm telling you. Who has seen the doc on BT Sport where Wilder's trainer said his hands hurt after a pad session? Wilder's got real power. Isn't that Mask Masonic like a film Eyes Wide Shut? That's all the signs are there, people. All the signs. I'm not saying no more, but all the signs are there. Yep. Obeah, voodoo, as much the same as faith in hypnotism. It's all in the mind. Oh, yeah, brother, I agree with you. All the same. All the same line, just depending on what end of the spectrum you're looking at it from. But it's all the same light, but it's just what end of the spectrum you're looking at it from. And it's all energy. It's what energy you're calling. But it all comes down to one thing, you know. I know the place you talk of. Very powerful, though. Yeah, this is it. Not many boxing channels are going to talk about this because they're just not. They're going to talk about the fight. But This is something that I think boxing fans need to pay attention to. Wilder hasn't got a clue about how to be mentally tough. Really? Really? Well, if your daughter, who has got the illness that Wilder's daughter had, he needed to be mentally tough. So I would strongly disagree with you there. It's all devil worshipping. I'm from the Caribbean and seen it firsthand. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Hamza. I walk through the Wilder of death. I fear no one punch knockout. Oh, don't fear it. You don't have to fear it. If you feel it, you'll know about it because your legs will start to tremble. You know what I mean? We will see when he loses being quiet and more humble would make him tough. Okay, you need to be mentally tough to be a heavyweight boxer, period. Joshua is halfway there. Be interested to see if he changes over the next year or so. Wilder's African roots and witchcraft is very common. Voodoo goes on every day. Of course it does. It does indeed. We're closing in on the 10 o'clock show, the premiere, 10 o'clock tonight, live on BWTM premiere. Don't miss it, 10 p.m. on this channel. It'll be for about a minute. Don't miss it. Hamza, I lived in the Caribbean. It's nothing more than what Darren Brown does, all mind control. Oh, yeah. Yep, I lived in the Caribbean too. He talks about summoning his family warriors into his body from the past. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Believe it. Very possible. You know, I don't know if you ever heard the story of a lady whose I think her son was the car turned over and her son was trapped under the car and she was able to lift the car up. This woman was able to lift the car, physically lift the car and flip the car over to get her child out. Yeah, stuff like that happens. Fighting is all mental. Doesn't mean he's possessed. He's a bit dark. Oh, dear. My friend, if you were sat in front of Wilder, you yourself would say, listen, you sat in front of Wilder, you know. You're only talking that because you're behind a keyboard or you've not experienced that stuff. When you've come close to that sort of stuff, or you've dealt with that stuff, or you've had to battle with that stuff, you understand. It's like somebody trying to talk to you, explain to you what it's like to get hit with a body shot. You can talk all you want about what a body shot is. When you get hit with a body shot, that feeling, you can't shake that feeling. When you get hit with a good body shot, the first your knees start to go and you go. A good body shot will double you up. You get hit in your nuts. All you blokes get hit in the nuts, okay? I tell you what, you get hit in the nuts and then you try talking nonsense over a keyboard. You can't, right? Once you get hit in the nuts, you double over. It's like that. You just know. There's certain things you just know. No, I would go out on my shield, even though after loss, I wouldn't say he's possessed. Yeah, you could say it because you're behind a keyboard, mate. One love. Which island you lived on? I'm from Kuwait, so originally. You're right about how Western world have commercialized certain aspects of Derek Oakville, Uri Geller, etc. Yeah, the Caribbean, Trinidad, and Grenada. In fact, I just wait to my grandmother got buried a couple of weeks ago, and while I was in Trinidad, and what I noticed, they had a spiritualist church, and they have they ring a lot of bells, and they spray water over the funeral casket, and do a lot of singing and dancing and chanting and shaman, also Baptist, shaman Baptist, and a lot of stuff they get involved with there. I had to turn my eyebrow up and look at and say, okay, I had to protect myself for the whole process. But yeah, very dark stuff. I know what a shot feels like. Well, Wilder may well go into a trance before he fights. He talks about going into becoming the bronze bomber and Deontay is God. I told you, Wilder spends a lot of time in that deep meditation, plus he has more weapons than a A-team. He has a power set through him from DNA, not weight. So his violent streak bred inside. So you've got a guy that's been able to tap into the spiritual realm, right? And master that for his success. You've got a guy that's also a violent puncher, or he's got a violent spirit. And the only way to describe that spirit is the spirit of one that has no respect for any human being. that takes you into another vibration and another universe, right? When Wilder sees you, like your general boxer sees an opponent on the other side of the ring. When Wilder goes into that zone, he doesn't see your family, your friends, your loved ones, you. He don't see any of that. He just sees kill. That's it. I'm trying to get you to the mindset of someone like that. It's kill. Deontay Wilder, right? It's like, yeah, Deontay's like, you know, Tyson's a good guy. He's got a family and wanting to go back to his kids and all that stuff. But all that stuff is Deontay Wilder. He's got his child and stuff. When he becomes the bronze bomber, you got to understand, he would put a fist for his own family. He'd put his fist for his daughter or his wife or his kid. He would put a fist straight through him as the bronze bomber. You have to understand that. And that's a mindset that I think 95% of boxers in this world wouldn't go there. This guy's going over and above that. So just watch his fights again. Don't look at all the wild swinging. Watch what happens when he hits you, he hurts you, and the referee tries to get onto him. He's still throwing punches. That ain't good. That kind of guy you don't clown around with. That kind of guy you have to render unconscious quickly. That's what I'm talking about. Not this make him miss, make him pay. You're playing around like Emmanuel Stewart said about Tyson. Get him out of there before you get caught with something stupid. Get him out of there, because Emmanuel Stewart realized at a little lower level, Tyson can take you out of one shot and his ferocity. If it were a Mike Tyson that fought Lennox Lewis, that Mike Tyson that was knocking out Trevor Berbick and the other guy, not so much the Larry Holmes Tyson, the one that knocked out Michael Spinks, that Mike Tyson right there, that guy. Lennox couldn't clown around with a guy like that. That guy's ferocious. But Tyson's ferocious, but I think that Wilder takes it to that next level. That's what I'm saying to you guys. Fury wears his shorts around his chest. I can't believe he gets away with it. I was at a body shot. I was down for about a day. Well, there you go. Now you know what I'm talking about. Go there and fight some you all realize we're all human. We're all just vulnerable, even the tough guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Dominica, yeah, his mask is Masonic, and he also wears a Masonic ring on the finger. Lots of voodoo, LOL, only affects you if you believe in it. I have first-hand experience. Yeah, if you believe in it. So-called tough guys. The religion depends on which island, like Jamaica, Ghana, Cuba, DR, Yoruba, Haiti, Benin, etc. Yeah. WP always help Wilder out. He is in a position there for a reason. Lots of Haitian. Lots of Haitian Dominica, hands up. Okay. While you're talking, I'll hope and wish for Wilder to get put in a trance and hit some more to learn some respect. Tyson's going to have to be equally as violent and take Wilder out there quick time. And he's taken on a recent cocaine addiction that he gained and lost 10 stone in the past 3 years. Yes, if he loses, he needs to fight terrible. Let's stop talking about devil worship. If he was, he would have no control of it, and he would be killing other boxers, not taking 11 rounds to knock out a 39-year-old man. Look at the Wilder that fought Luis Ortiz. Wasn't the same guy than the guy that fought Bermain Stavone. Different intentions. Different intentions. I'm telling you. All right. All right. All right. Carry on. You carry on talking about a 39-year-old. You carry on talking about a 39-year-old. There's something you don't understand. There's something you don't get. When Wilder sees Fury, and those people of a certain makeup will understand what I'm saying here. When he sees Fury, he sees something else. And you're talking about Wilder tapping into his ancestry and all that stuff. Don't go there, people. Don't go there. Don't compare Ortiz to Fury. Don't. That's all I'm saying. Don't. I know there's a lot of Dominicans in Corico. Some of them practice Satanery, which is Yoruba. That stuff is scary. Exactly, Eddie. I know exactly what you're talking about, Ingram. That's why Joshua ducked him. I lived with the most violent. It lacks empathy. I call it rage. Yeah, that's it. Jaws. AJ does seem hesitant to fight Wilder, but if he doesn't, he will never live it down. Baz, the 39-year-old is elite level, though he hadn't been knocked down at pro, let alone stopped. Plus, Ortiz had been avoided by other heavyweights. You know, don't you? Yeah, I damn well know. Wilder has a massive Masonic jacket on after the Ortiz fight. Well. Yeah, those people who are comparing Fury with Ortiz are making a. You need to just for a second look at the historical impact and look at the how do I put this? The ancestral conflict there for Deontay Wilder. Just check that out a second for the Bronze Bomber, because if he's going down that route ancestry and he's looking at Fury, that is like adding fuel to the fire. That's what I'm saying to you. A lot of people are going to be in tears if Wilder really catches a body. This stuff isn't a joke, and Tyson's very vulnerable right now. This is what I'm saying. I think Tyson's been rushed into the fight against Wilder. I keep saying it, and he's just going to try and do his best. Wilder is hands down the most dangerous and the most loving boxer in the same sense. You notice after he kicks your ass, he embraces you with love and he becomes friends. No fighter does it better. Yeah, you're talking about Deontay Wilder and Bronze Bomber. Bronze Bomber is not embracing nobody. Deontay Wilder will embrace everybody. It's hate. Pray for him. Frank Bruno's parents were from Dominica. I think Ortiz stood a bigger chance of beating Wilder than Fury. With all due respect, let's stop comparing the two, of course. Right. I'm going to say this much. I believe Tyson Fury is rushed into the fight against Deontay Wilder. I believe Tyson Fury is taking this fight not because he really wants it now. I believe it's because it has to happen. That's it. I don't think this is the fight he chose of his own doing. We don't know. Fury. I can see Fury retiring again if he beats Wilder. I can see Fury retiring again if he gets knocked out by Wilder. He didn't with Stavern, though. I see what you're trying to say, though. No, he did something different with Stavern. Something very different with Stavern. And if you go and look at the start of that fight with Stavern and Wilder, there was some eerie feeling in that room that night. I'm telling you. You need to go back and look at that fight again. Not the knockout, but go back and look at Wilder's fights when he knocks a guy out. And look what happens afterwards. Look at what with the referee. You can see a skill set, though. It's hard to be tested when everyone ducks you. Yeah. All right. Let me just add some other points very quickly. Fury versus Joe Joyce. Hugh Fury against Joe Joyce. If Hughie Fury, not disrespect to Joe Joyce, but if Hugh Fury's going anywhere in world boxing, he's got to beat Joe Joyce. And yeah, he's got to beat Joe Joyce. And he's got to beat Joe Joyce if he's going to be anywhere in boxing. Because it won't bode well for Hughie Fury if he gets beat by Joe Joyce. If Joe Joyce gets beat by Hughie Fury, it isn't so bad because he can say, well, Joe Joyce, it's going to be interesting. I just don't know how he beats. I'm picking Hughie for the fight against Joe Joyce, but we'll have to wait and see. Price versus Little. I mean, what will we come to? Price versus Little. First, I think they were picking Price against Takam, but now they've got Tim Little in there. Tom Little hasn't got the punching power. Price has got the punching power. Tyson will fight for David Price. I really do think so. So I'm picking David Price for this one. I felt it as well. It was very dark and weird. The way he approached Deverne in the ring, the way that he charged him, you could sense something. True, but he hasn't. He still wasn't tested. Tyson has the best. Tyson has the best name on his record. The way he pronounced bounce wasn't human like us. I'm saying that already. Guys ain't watching that. You lot of you guys are watching this from the same old boxing. This is beyond boxing, man. This is beyond boxing. You've been warned already. You've all been warned. If Fury is going anywhere in boxing, he needs to get fit and learn to punch. He was awful against Pulev. Maybe a reptilian shapeshifter slicks. Peter Powell. Hey, and by the way, just before I finish this off and before I go, for those of you, please subscribe. Subscribe to BWTM Gaming. Get over there, right? Get over to BWTM Gaming. Subscribe to the channel, right? And join us. We've got a real good group of people over there with my man Slicks. We do Football Manager over there. So I'm in the 3rd season with Football Manager. If you like the football, you want a bit of fun, you're bored in the evening and you don't know what to do, come across the Football Manager and have a chat with us. We talk about all sorts of subjects. And Peter Powell and Donker's over there, and Joey comes over sometimes. Michael sometimes come over. P. O'Neill sometimes comes over. So hey, come over and have some fun. BWTM Gaming, join us tonight. After the premiere, we'll be over there, and we'll be in the 3rd season, and I'm managing the Brighton side. Get across there, BWTM Gaming. Of course, check us out, BWTM Online on Instagram, BWTM Online on Facebook, BWT Bayloric TV channel, blogging channel. Check that out as well. Check us out, like us, subscribe, share the video. Really appreciate you all, but stay tuned. Literally in 10 minutes time, literally 10 minutes, you will see for yourselves the next edition of Round for Round Boxing. Our next reveal I have seen. I can't speak about it, but some of the stuff that I've heard and I've seen, this game is absolutely phenomenal. Really, really great. Shout out to the people again, Round for Round Boxing. Malky, Alan, Jamie, all great guys. Jamie Doherty, all great guys for Round Boxing. You need to get yourselves over to Round for Round Boxing, www.roundforroundboxing.com, and you need to check out the playlist on this channel. Check out BWTM, the official channel for all things Round for Round Boxing. And when we talk about Round for Round Boxing being in partnership with BWTM, tonight we're going to show you one of the things we mean by being in partnership with Round for Round Boxing. You'll see tonight, and this will be part of the game, which we're really excited about. So it's a reveal. I'm excited about it. Huey is the best. He trained too hard. Big deal. We all overtrain. We don't get a medal for it. Lesson learned. I will subscribe, Ingram. Not a gamer, though, but I don't know much about it. You don't need to be a gamer. You don't need to be a gamer. You just come in and have a chat. It's like a adult youth center. Come in, have a chat, and just chill out with us and have a good joke. Have you noticed how Peter always tries to discredit something when it's a serious situation? He's always trying to make a joke and brush it off. Interesting. Severn took Wilder's mind into a dark place when he kept making death threats. There you go, Ronnie Emerson. Quick was better under Joe Gallagher. Yeah, because you're suggesting Wilder isn't human. Is seen serious. You're a paid troll. I wish, says Peter Powell. You're an MK Ultra handler, Slicks. I hope Round Round has a complete current lineup that can be updated with ratings and current champions. Kind of ironic. Hatton's going to be in Tyson's corner, don't you think, Ingram? It's interesting. Ricky Hatton was mocking Floyd Mayweather and the pad work. You remember all that stuff? And he was mocking Floyd Mayweather. What is he doing now in 2018? That's what Ricky Hatton's doing now. Often we mock what we don't understand. Often we mock what we don't understand and don't appreciate the greatness. And then now we start doing it. That's Ricky Hatton for you. I didn't say Wilder wasn't human. We said his spirit inside him is an alter ego. Yeah. And he's a guy. Isn't it also ironic that they say that what you attract around you is a reflection of your internal. Rick Hatton was another guy who had no respect for his body, didn't have great discipline, and always went up and down in weights, and eventually caught up with him with the Pacquiao fight and the Mayweather fight. So there you go. Right, I'm getting out of here because I've been on here way too long. It's great to be back. It was great having a chat with you all. And, keep subscribing. 14,000 subscribers to the channel. We're loving that. And check out our playlist. I'm going to add it at the end of this video. Check out the playlist. Check out our latest videos and share them. I knew this one guy, a doctor, name of Banner. Believe me, you wouldn't want to get mad. Peter Powell, you're the only one who doesn't understand what Ingram was saying about Wilder. Thank you. Don't worry. I'll be talking to Peter after this. Right. I'll be back for the... I wasn't addressing Ingram. No worries. I'll be back at 10 o'clock. I'll just be watching a preview with you, the premiere. So I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you leave your comments on the premiere. Leave your comments in the premiere. Let us know what you think. I am absolutely excited. I'm great to be be part of this round for round boxing. I'm excited, and I really want you to see this next premiere. Tell your friends about it. Let everybody know you've got less than 10 minutes to the premiere. I'm getting off here. It starts bang on 10 o'clock. Let everybody know. I'm out of here. Take care. Round for Round Boxing. www.roundforroundboxing.com in association with BWTM Sports. Check out the playlist, the latest playlist on Round for Round Boxing. See you soon. You've been watching BWTM Sports.